Hello founders, and welcome back to my Ensemble Startup series. I'm Robert and I'm so glad that you're here. In the previous video we talked about identifying your audience. In this video we will talk about how to engage them and get them involved with your ensemble long before you even announce your first concert. So you should start building your audience right now. With that, there are two ways to engage your audience online. First is through a website, and secondly through social media. So your website is incredibly important. It kind of acts as your home base. It's outside of all the other outside of all the social media platforms, and it's for the most part independent. And with this, you want to keep it simple. You don't need to spend a lot of money and do a bunch of fancy animations or anything. Keep it simple, and there are a number of website builders out there that are easy to use and incredibly user-friendly. For photos, you can just use your phone. Most phones nowadays are perfect for this sort of a thing. I've taken batons, just put them on a sheet of music and get really close, and you can do some creative things that way to save on actually buying a photo or paying someone to come up with those photos for you. So you can do a lot of those things kind of just using the objects that you have around you. And so no need to spend a bunch of money on your website. Your website should include all the specifics about your organization. So who you are, why you founded the organization, what you're doing, and what your mission is. And with all of these things, basically what it's doing is it is communicating your story. And at the same time, what you should be doing through your website is garnering email addresses. These are incredibly important because they let you talk to your audience outside of specific social media platforms. So you should have a newsletter, a reason for people to sign up for your newsletter, and in some way, and have that sign up link all over your website. Next, let's talk about social media. With your website, you're basically informing other people about your organization and telling your story. With social media, on the other hand, you are having a conversation with your audience. So regardless of what platform you're using, you want to have engaging posts that encourage your audience to do something in return, to comment, to share, that sort of a thing. So with that, you can choose from any of the large number of platforms out there, with the major ones being, of course, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope for live streaming. So there are a lot of different options, and they all come with their pros and cons. What I would encourage you to do is to choose one or two, especially in the beginning and if you don't have much experience, and work on developing your audience on those particular social media platforms. In my experience, the most user-friendly is Facebook. There are a lot of people already on there. Of course, it's huge. It's most people's parents are on there, and it's incredibly user-friendly. So it's incredibly accessible. And with that, again, remember to keep all of your posts engaging, and you want to evoke a response from your audience. A few other things to keep in mind with your social media presence. First, you want to have the same name across all platforms. So your website, Facebook, Instagram should all be pretty much the same handle. And that's one thing where if you get to one of these and it's not available, you might seriously consider changing your name, so that way you can have a consistent kind of brand identity across these platforms. Another thing to keep in mind is that typically you want to post more. So on Facebook, you want to post at least 3 times a week. On Twitter, you want to post at least 3 times a day. So it changes, of course, with the specific platform. At the same time, though, you don't want to just do one post, wait 2 weeks, do another one. You want to have something planned and something regular so that way your audience continues to be engaged from the very beginning. With that, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something about audience engagement. In future videos, I'll go into more depth into the specific social media platforms. Otherwise, I'll leave some resources in the description below to Kevin Kelly and to an action sheet so that you have some specific things to work on right now. Leave me a comment below. I want to hear what your successes and failures have been with social media, as well as whatever questions you might have. I hope to hear from you, and otherwise I'll see you in the next video. Take care.